Greetings, citizens of this wondrous site that we call YouTube. Who am I, you may ask? Well, I am Owen Wiltshire, master fanfiction writer and reader. Today, we will be reading about the koopalings, the 7 children of Bowser. You know about them, right? Right. Anyways, without further ado, let's get started. Chapter 1, Early in the Morning. If you were to get up real early in the Kingdom of Darkland, you would see that it's quite silent. Not one soul is about. Well, except for Ludwig von Koopa, the oldest of Lord Bowser's kids. He's currently spraying his hair blue. His hair is naturally white. And brushing in. Well, you get the point. Hey, what are you doing in my room this early? Ludwig shouted with a British accent. Okay, let's get out of here before he hits me over the head with a violin. Now, since it is so early in the morning, it's like 6:30, we are going to do a good old-fashioned time skip. Tick, 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 tick. Imagine there's supposed to be a clock here. Just imagine there's a clock here. Anyways. It is now 8:15 and everyone is getting up. But first, we have to talk about the roll corps. We have General Guy, a shy guy drill sergeant who is known to train some of the best warriors in the land. And then we have butlers. Lots and lots of butlers. That's it. And sitting on the throne is Lord Bowser himself. He rules with an iron fist. And that's an understatement. Next to him is his only biological son, Bowser Jr. Bowser Jr. tries to do a stunt with his paintbrush and trips and falls. Bless him, he tries. Now, some mornings Bowser calls a meeting to explain what they're going to do that day, and that was the time for the meeting. Bowser yelled for the koopalings, and soon they started to come up. After a bit of waiting for the youngest, 4 butlers had to go in and investigate. After another bit of waiting, 4 butlers came back dragging the youngest koopaling, Larry. He's known to sleep a lot. Bowser literally had to roar to get Larry to wake up. So Larry took his position, barely able to stand, he was so sleepy. The whole room shook. Paintings almost fell off the walls. And out of the darkness emerged the second oldest koopaling. This fat slob here is Morton, the worst out of all of them. Up next, the only girl koopaling. Butlers are known to fall head over heels for her. Is it like time already? She complained as she stepped out of the hallway. Yeah, it's that time. Why do you think those 2 are here? Bowser Jr. responded. Now, said a voice from the hallway, I've got a special new concoction, but no test subject. Would anyone like to be my test subject? The 4th koopaling said as he stepped out of the hallway. It was Iggy Koopa, the smartest and the least sane of all of them. Iggy looked around, holding his vial up, shaking it towards people, and he was looking for a volunteer. But no one volunteered. No one? That's fine, Iggy said, for he knew who was coming up. Roy, the second stupidest, only losing to Morton. Roy came running up the hall as usual, ready to punch somebody. But as he came into view, Iggy spun right round and bludgeoned Roy over the head with a beaker, causing it to shatter. Roy stopped dead in his tracks and froze completely. It works! Iggy continued to shout and laugh maniacally, but then stopped because he knew who was coming up next. His older brother, Lemmy. The throne room rumbled lightly, and out of the hallway rolled the second youngest, Lemmy Koopa, who is always rolling on his ball. By the way, he can't walk, he just prefers his ball. And now violin music is heard as the oldest of the siblings, Ludwig enters. Anyways, Now that's everyone familiar with the Darkland people. Now let's continue with the story. Chapter 2: Breakfast Mess. Now, kids! Bowser shouted in his booming voice. I have some good news! The Koopalings looked around thinking of what the news was. Except Roy. He was still frozen. Well, what is it? Wendy asked in her annoying, high-pitched voice. I have no plans for today, so you're free to do whatever. And all the Koopalings cheered. Except Roy. He was still frozen. But now, kids, it's breakfast time! The Koopalings then walked into the dining room for breakfast. But Roy had to be carried by a butler because he was still frozen. Ludwig then sat down and tied his napkin around his neck. Then he looked at his siblings, expecting them to do the same. But they didn't. Instead, Roy was passed out sleeping, Mort was Hulk talking, Wendy was taking selfies, Iggy and Lemmy were talking about which prank they were going to pull next, and Roy was, frozen. I just don't understand them sometimes, Ludwig thought to himself as he waited for his breakfast. About 2 minutes later, the butlers came in with 8 plates, one for each Koopaling. And Roy finally stopped being frozen, so you don't need to see that annoying running gag ever again. Anyways, the butlers came in and said everyone was having eggs and grits. Breakfast was served and everyone started eating. Ludwig looked over and saw that Roy was eating like a chain chomp. And as soon as he saw that, he immediately lost his appetite. And he looked over again to see Lemmy with grit smeared all over his mouth like a mustache. Ludwig then felt sick to his stomach. Oh, I forgot something. I forgot to introduce the Mushroom Kingdom. Alright then, let's head over there right now while the Koopalings are eating. Poo poo! Pew! Now we're at the Mushroom Kingdom, and welcome to the throne room. Sitting on the throne is Princess Peach. She gets kidnapped so much it's a wonder why she won't just reside as ruler of Mushroom Kingdom. The green one here is Luigi. We'll talk about him later in the series. And this one right here is Mario, the hero of the Mushroom Kingdom. He truly cares not about the kingdom nor anyone in it. Well, except Peach. Well, now that we've gotten to know the main 3 people of the Mushroom Kingdom, let's head back to Darkland, shall we? Chapter 4: Yours. After breakfast was done, the Koopalings were free to do whatever. Most just did what they usually do during their spare time, such as Wendy going to the mall, Iggy inventing stuff, Larry sleeping. As you already know, Ludwig likes to make music and stuff, so he started to head up to his room. Along the way, he saw Bowser Jr. talking to Bowser about how to switch those names around, about how the whole castle was going to be his someday. That's the same speech I was given when I was little, Ludwig growled quietly. And now we go back 16 years ago. Tate? Yes, Ludwig? I'm not sure if I want to be king of Darkland. And why is that? Well, it's going to be hard. No, Ludwig. When I was your age, I had the same thoughts. Really? Yes, really. I talked to my dad. You know what he said? What? He said, it's gonna be hard, son. You just gotta tough it up and deal with it. Well, if it's gonna be hard no matter what, then I'll just have to deal with it. Exactly. I'll keep trying, and one day I'll be a better king than you ever were. We'll see about that. You keep on, and one day this will all be yours. The thought of it only made Ludwig more angry that Bowser Jr. was heir to the throne. Ludwig went to the second story stairs and sat down on them. glaring intensely at Bowser Jr. Because you see, Ludwig plots to kill Bowser Jr. like a lot. Maybe I could drop my piano on his head, Ludwig thought. No, too comical. Ludwig decided to stop early today and just go up to his room to compose symphonies. And that is the end. In case you want to check this out, the story is on Wattpad. Search up Koopalings or pneumasdance. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you citizens all later.